Hey guys, welcome to Creator to Creators. Today we have a special guest.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
And I'm Alan.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks.
So you guys are actors, and not only are actors, but you guys work together and you're married. Wow, surprise. How did that happen? Like, first of all, tell us why acting and how you guys met.
Why acting? For me, I kind of fell into it with a bunch of friends, got into it and just got hooked, and then found out I just loved doing it. There was nothing better, and that's what I wanted to do full time. So we've been making it work. And for you?
Yeah, I mean, my sisters and I joke that we were raised by TV. So growing up like that, it's like, monkey see, monkey do, I guess. I just wanted to act and be like Shirley Temple, and then things just started happening. So yeah, then I met him and everything just got even more workable, professional, I guess.
Together, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so how did, like, I'm sure working together for the first time, how was that? Like, because you guys have a groove now, right? Like how you guys, know each other so well on set and off set. So how does that work for you on set?
Well, now we've gotten a groove. First, like when we were auditioning together at first, it was kind of like, like directing, you know what I mean?
The whole separating business from personal life even fit into that category where, it's like, okay, now we got to do this, and we became working partners, and it wasn't working at first. But I feel like
we just had to keep doing it.
yeah, sticking with it, just not giving up, and then having a solid emotional and spiritual type of connectivity eventually strengthens the other parts of our relationship, like working
together. A big key was communication.
Yes.
Yeah, and learning each other's ways of communicating. So then it's like, if when we were auditioning and stuff like that, it used to be frustrating because you'd give me a note and then I'd take it as personal criticism. When it wasn't personal, it was objective about the scene or whatever. So yeah.
So that made your relationship much stronger, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it presented new obstacles and new things to go through that we normally, I suppose, outside of a working relationship wouldn't have had to deal with.
A lot of actors, they specifically say they don't date actors. I think probably for that reason, because it's a learning curve, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of give and take, extra give and take.
Yeah.
How do you choose your roles exactly? Like when you see something you like, is it like, do you guys run it by each other, or you just kind of?
I choose whatever has the biggest pay.
No, we do. Sometimes we run things by each other, but we're both
well aware of every role that comes across for audition, because we're helping each other in the first place.
Yeah.
And we have turned down a few after careful deliberation between the two of us. Turned down a number of roles based on all kinds of factors, not just
content.
Yeah, but content is big. Content's a big part.
Content's a big reason why things have been turned down before. Content, and
if we don't believe in the project, we're seriously not going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. That makes a lot of sense for sure. As an actor, what do you wish you knew then that you know now, starting into acting, that kind of thing?
Well, my life would have been a lot better and less dramatic if I had realized it was not a competition. There's space for everybody. And there was something else I was thinking about the other day. I was like, man, if I had known this when I started out, like, just, I guess, it's not like if I knew everything that I knew now when I first started out, everything would be so much better. Like just being more relaxed and not so anxious and stuff, because I grew up in musical theater, so it's the theater world. Sorry, anybody that's in theater and loves it, but it's very like bitey. Like everybody was so sassy and dramatic. It's like if you booked a role, like again, this is musical theater and like schools and stuff like that, it's not like anybody was getting paid or on Broadway. Everybody was so mean. It's like if you took something over somebody else, and so it made me super competitive going to like film auditions and stuff. And this is where Alan came in. He was like, why are you so competitive? There's literally space for everybody.
Abundance mentality.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, it's not about you. It's about that person's choosing it. It's like you could look like their ex-girlfriend. You could have a ism that's something related to the past that just makes them, you know what, you don't fit the picture in my head. So it's not that you're a bad actress. It's not that you're unattractive or whatever. It's just that person casting it has all these other different factors that, you know, it's like if you don't fit the box that they've created for that character, then it doesn't matter how amazing you are, how many followers you have. That's kind of opened I got way less stressed.
That's good. And you?
I think following on the heels of that, mine is something similar. Fear of the unknown. A lot of people are so afraid of the unknown that we all talk about taking the big risks, taking the bold steps, but a lot of people simply just don't do it. And there was a lot of times in my life where I just didn't do it. And every time I did, the great things happened. You know, I had an agent way back when I first started. I turned down so much because of work. She called and I was like, oh, I can't because I can't take off work. You know, I was like, you didn't give me enough heads up. I got to do that tomorrow or in 2 days. Cause you know, a lot of casting companies require immediate auditions, or, you know, back then it was go in person tomorrow. And I told her, I said, you know what? Cause she got on me. She said, why am I your agent if you're turning down every opportunity? And I said, okay, fine. I'll quit my job if I, you know, go and I book this thing. I don't remember if I told her, but I told myself. And all of a sudden I booked that gig. So I stayed true to my commitment. I quit my job, and it was a much better move than I thought. I was so afraid to leave that security of daily paycheck, you know, and when I let go, bigger and better things even happened, which was far more amazing. And I would never want to be in that position, back stuck in that office, in that cubicle ever again. It's nothing I would ever want to do. And I didn't even realize it's like a fish sitting in a fish tank, and there's an ocean right next door that you could just jump over into.
Yeah, that's something that you pressed upon me when we first got together or whatever. I was in this job and the boss was like, yeah, I'll work with whatever auditions and stuff you get. But every time I did, she'd like be super controlling or whatever. And as soon as I quit that job, and then I never committed to another like job environment, like I felt like the world just opened up, and then all these amazing like opportunities started happening back to back to back to back.
I don't need everyone to quit their 9 to 5, because I mean, I feel like a lot of personalities do thrive in that environment, but artistic personalities naturally don't, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. That's interesting. Yeah. And you know, you touched on the agent. I mean, how is it hard getting an agent as an actor?
It depends on where you are. Now, yeah, Alan.
I feel like it's really easy to get an agent.
Yeah.
I feel like the real question is the quality of agent is difficult.
Got it.
Yeah. That's like, this is probably dogging myself or whatever, but it's like Alan always gets like amazing like reps, and you get like anyways, I guess that's another topic for later. But
and I wouldn't say always, you know, a lot of I gotta be careful how I say this, but there's a lot of quality representation, and then a lot of representation that turns out not to be quality, and you can't see it from the outside looking in. You just can't tell, you know. And if you look at like rosters and you see sometimes agents are representing a lot of good people, so you think that agency is really good, when it turns out those good people had their resumes and reputations before they were picked up by this agency. And some agencies have grandfathered over into new talent representation, like the company has new agents that might not be as good as the previous agents that were repping the talent, you know, last year. So it's always a gamble, I feel like. Yeah,
that's what happened with, I'm not going to put any names, but he was with like one of the top 5 agencies that were getting him consistent like work and not auditions and stuff. And then they had a shift in power, and then everything just went to pot.
Oh,
so
no.
It was like, yeah, they like lost everything, and they were only getting their friends auditions and stuff, which is kind of like,
a new agent had signed on to represent the talent in the company, and they kind of drove things
into the ground.
Different direction.
They're not listed as the top 5 agencies in that specific region anymore.
Wow.
So,
That's, you never know. But
yeah.
I like what you guys did, you know, with, you know, you're repped, you also are acting, and you guys have an agency yourself. You guys rep actors. How did that happen?
Well, a lot of friends were complaining, you know, at times, as I guess many artists do, about their representation sometimes, or, you know, we all go through times where we leave our representation or get booted off. And amidst all the friends complaining, we're not complaining, but emoting, we realized, well, we could make a stepping stone platform so that no one ever completely loses representation.
Right.
And upon making that, I mean, things just started to pick up. We started getting some really nice gigs
and connections.
Coming to us.
Because we realized that we knew a lot of like casting people that had a lot of opportunities, and they were our friends, and so they're like, hey, yeah, we'll let you know when we're doing stuff. And so far it's been working.
Yeah. The pandemic, I mean, naturally gave it a nice beating, but
right. Right.
Keep it alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is actually my next question. Like, you know, being that we're in this uncertainty of time, and we don't really know when things are going to get back to somewhat normalcy. I mean, how are you guys keeping yourselves creative? What are you guys doing? Like, what are you doing to keep that balance?
Well,
you've become quite the director, producer there.
Yeah, I started dabbling in that stuff. You know, I told you all about it, but so directing and producing 2 projects over the summer. One which was completed for like a pitch trailer and whatnot, and it looked really cool working with Gabby and Steven on that on the East Coast. We're in LA now, but working on another short that unfortunately due to COVID, the last couple of days of shooting have to be moved to next year because everybody's dispersed. If everybody was all in LA, we could be like, hey, yeah, but everybody's making a very wise decision to travel to safer areas
right
at the moment. So just waiting till we can all regroup and be in the same area and zone. That's just me, but that's been a fun learning curve, like learning what goes on behind the camera and paperwork and stuff like that. That's been a big learning curve, but it's been cool and interesting, and I've been having fun with it, and you've been very helpful with that.
Yeah, she's got a really good eye. It's been fun working under her for that. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so you guys are I love that you're saying balance, because, you know, a lot of people, I ask this question, they're like, dude, I'm just, you know, a lot of people are like, I haven't been creative. Some people are not like leaving their house during this time, and it's like kind of scary for some people, and I'm like, I was like, I can't not work, or I'm just gonna kind of go crazy. So I love that you guys are doing it still in spite of, you know, safely, but still working and, you know, creating. So that's good. Who is your, like, I guess everybody has inspirations, but someone that you look at and you're like, you know what, that's my idea of where I want to be in my career.
Mine changes weekly, so it depends on what movies or series or anything we're reading about. But I do like to model after so many mentors all the time. So I feel like constantly reading biographies, constantly watching, you know, YouTube clips where they're speaking. For me, it changes weekly. Like this week is Charlie Chaplin. Turner Classic Movies has got all his silent films, and I've just been watching, all those, and then Googling, the crap out of his life and career. So just always constantly shifting mentors, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we watch a lot of classic films, so it's like you think of classic actors and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the way up to modern actors. I mean,
Yeah, I really like Elizabeth Taylor and Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
And then Michael Fassbender. Those are my 3 favorites right now.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So, fun question. If you guys weren't actors, what profession would you have? Or would you do?
Real estate. For me.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I like to dabble a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
How about you?
Cool.
I don't know. It's always
design of some sort. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe like interior design, but that's new. It's always been since I was little. It's like I was going to be some sort of an artist, like an actor or a singer or whatever.
There's artistry in design.
That's true. That's interior design.
Because you've got a good artistic eye.
Well, thanks. I mean, don't take this room's cute, but it's not like what I want to do.
Oh, it's temporary.
It's a temporary room, yeah. I'm like I said, I want to do interior design. It's like basic.
Oh my God, you're hilarious. So for aspiring actors out there, what advice would you give them? Like someone who wants to get in this business, what advice would you give them?
I would first say, make sure it's what you really want to do. Mm-hmm. And you can read the telltale signs. If you don't know deep inside if it's something you really want to do, look at your outward signs. Are you taking the roles? Are you doing the classes? Are you connecting with people? Or are you just vegging out, and do you feel drained and you don't feel like doing the audition?
Yeah, going off of that, it's like we know a lot of people, it's like they make the big move out to LA or to a big city, and then they talk about how they just never get any auditions, and it's like, are you submitting for anything? And we know some people that we've given audition opportunities to, and they're like, I'm just not feeling it right now. And it's like, what? It's like, are you not, like, you say this is what you want to do or whatever, and you're talking about the struggle, but then somebody gives you an opportunity and you're like, nah, it's not the kind of opportunity I want or whatever. But it's like, you got to start somewhere with the acting stuff. So I guess being available and, just knowing that everybody's in the same boat essentially. So it's like, don't be so competitive, because there's something for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're the same type either. So.
And I noticed there's a lot of people that hustle, and when they get an opportunity, they grab hold of it and they just keep going, And then the ones that are grasping, sometimes they hit those roadblocks where they feel like nothing's happening for them, but they keep going. And when they turn back and they look at where they've come, you see that things have been happening, and they are in the right place to be doing what they love.
Because like with everything, there's always a slow season. So It's like you got to use those, like case in point right now. I've been reading a book by Sherry Rigby, she's an actress, and her book's called Consider the Lilies, and it talks about lilies aren't always in bloom. It's like in the winter and in the fall and stuff, their roots are going deeper into the soil and like further strengthening the plant. So then when it does bloom, it can bloom brighter and longer,
That's good.
Yeah,
so,
good. No, that's thank you. That's great advice, because there's so many people that are like, how do you get started? How do you do this? There's people that are still been like in LA that I know for almost 10 years and still not repped. And I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Mind blowing. You look and they're not even trying to do anything. You're doing this video. We're doing this video together right now. And I had a chance to see your other videos. You're constantly making something. There's a lot of people that haven't even been doing anything at all. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of people that are making art. And I feel like people that are constantly making art will always be making art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they get comfortable in whatever side job they're working. Yeah, that's one thing. It's like in the slow season, I'm not ashamed to say I've temped, but it's like you get attached to something like that, something that's very not committal, you know? It's like if you get, I mean, I don't know, everybody's got different choices, but for me specifically, it's like having that freedom of saying, no, I don't want to work this week because I have a job or something like that. That's been like insanely cool.
Oh, that's great. Thank you guys. That's great advice. Really good advice. Are you guys having like, are you guys working on anything right now that's coming out soon that we should watch out for?
Well, actually, we filmed a feature last year together, and it's in talks with Hallmark and Netflix right now. It has to do some re-edits and stuff for it to be put on their streaming platform. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome, guys. Well, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. And you got your stuff circulating around the nation.
Oh yeah, there's a couple commercials out there right now. I keep getting text messages. One guy sent it the other night. He said, if I see this one more time, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
So I hope those keep circulating for a while though, because residuals.
Right, definitely. I'm sure they will. Thank you guys for coming on. It was so good having you guys, and
thanks for having us.
I'm honored.
We're honored.
Yes.
Well, guys, that's it for this episode. Until next time, live, love, laugh. Bye.